Survivor's ready. Go!
Travis spoken.
This island is pretty much full of only two things: snakes and rats.
The fake dead grandmother could easily go down as the dirtiest thing ever to be done in this game.
I am the king, and I am back.
But I've got the $1 million check written already. I mean, I'm the winner.
The winner of the first Survivor competition is Rich.
Direct from Hobart, it's now time for the only dedicated radio show in Australia devoted to the hit TV show Survivor, bringing you the latest news and the biggest interviews from the king of reality television. It's Survivor Oz, and here's your host, Ben Waterworth.
Thanking you for the introduction, and welcome once again to Survivor Oz, Australia's #1 TV and film podcast, as we come to you for our final Survivor San Juan Del Sur exit interview. Final in terms of the boot order. In chronological order, this is not our final one. We've still got one more to record next week. But if you're listening to this in the future, not on the day it was released, it's not really going to matter me saying that part right now. But I should shut up and get into this chat, because I know a lot of you are dying to hear from this next person. She outwitted, outlasted and outplayed 17 other people, and yesterday was declared the sole survivor of season 29. I do speak of the one, the only Natalie Anderson. Natalie, welcome to Survivor Oz.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me on your podcast.
I'm so happy to have you here, Natalie. We started the season with a 20. We're ending the season with a 20. I mean, have you gotten used to hearing your name being introduced as winner of Survivor San Juan Del Sur yet?
I mean, it was really surreal. I was pretty confident, sitting next to the girls that are sitting at Final Tribal, but nothing can really prepare you for, Jeff walking up to you with a $1 million check. It was totally surreal. My parents were like freaking out in the audience, and seeing Nadia right afterwards was awesome.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine, and no doubt 24 hours worth of interviews and celebrations and just trying to catch your breath with everything. I mean, how do you manage to kind of sleep in the last 24 hours, Natalie? Have you done such a thing yet?
I don't know how much I slept. I kind of passed out last night. Me, Nadia, like the whole cast, John Rocker, Drew, Alec, all the boys and us, all went out, and, obviously all of us got totally wasted, and I woke up early morning today and like still in a haze, and I was like, wait, did that just happen, or am I dreaming that I'm like the sole survivor of the season? But it's all fun. I think the interviews and like the podcast and stuff, it's kind of therapeutic. It's cool to talk through some stuff, because you feel like everything moves by so fast, and like especially the Survivor, the live show, it goes by in a flash, and I like doing the interviews. It's like totally like therapy. It's cool.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Therapy. I've never considered myself a therapist before, Natalie. Maybe I can change my...
It's like... yeah, I know. It's like talking through things that you've done, and then, getting it all off your chest and being like, all right, now I'm done with this. I can move on with my life.
Yes. Well, I'll change my job title. I mean, last night, I think kind of, obviously a very entertaining finale, and just spoke to Missy a little bit about the blind side, of course, taking out Baylor when you played the idol on Jacqueline. I mean, when did you come up with the idea for this? Was this right then at Tribal Council, or has this already been hatched with Jacqueline earlier?
It was not hatched with Jacqueline. Jacqueline had no idea what I was doing. I had just kind of gone up to her, got a vibe from her, because me and Jacqueline went at it, went after each other after John got blindsided. And I realized, you can burn bridges in this game, because I never knew when I would have needed Jacqueline back. So I did some damage control on my part, and I could tell she was trying to do some damage control on her part. And, I just didn't want, I didn't want it to be a situation where I would leave the fate of my game in two people's hands that have a connection way stronger than any connection I could ever build with Missy and Baylor, because at the end of the day, they are real blood, and blood is thicker than water. So, Jacqueline had no idea what was going down, but I told her, vote for Baylor. I didn't tell her anything else. And so right before I played the idol, I just was like, it dawned on me, I was like, oh my God, maybe I should just check with Jacqueline if she did what I told her to. And I don't even know why I would ask her like that, because what would make me think that she would tell me the truth? This is Survivor. You're not supposed to just tell the truth to everybody. But she did. And, I was really nervous doing that. I was really, I felt bad because I'd made a real bond with Missy and Baylor, and I can only imagine, like, somebody blindsiding your daughter like that late in the game, but it is what it is.
Do you feel then that it was imperative that you took Missy to the end because you didn't want to have Missy and Baylor both pissed at you on the jury, whereas at least Missy being there, Baylor's going to vote for Missy, so you kind of know you're not going to get that vote anyway?
Yeah, I wanted Missy there, one, because, I just didn't, I felt like Baylor, in the Final Four, I would have rather Missy been there than Baylor because, if Baylor was there would be nobody else for me to use kind of as like a shield to project, people's fears on. So Keith was really, really nervous about Missy being this like super speaker who could get sympathy votes and win the whole thing. So I knew if I kept Missy around, Keith would be willing to vote off next tribal if he won immunity again. And I also voted out Baylor because she was becoming really, really, almost like they had this cocky attitude about, like, I deserve to go to the final three. And even though Missy and her had kind of discussed in advance that it would be Missy going to the final three and not Baylor. And so she was just becoming a loose cannon. And I was like, I don't want to deal with this later if it becomes a sticky situation. Let's just get rid of her now.
I love the fact that people are using this so much. It's just kind of, I'm disappointed they didn't use it as a hashtag throughout the season, hashtag sticky situation.
I know. It would make, even today, I feel like they should have done it. The kind of Survivor, the live show was kind of a mess. I would have love to see sticky situation as a hashtag. Yes, it is nice.
We'll make them use it next season or something. I'm not too sure. One thing that I'm very much intrigued about, I mean, we kind of saw that, you were targeting John a lot, and part of that was that you wanting to get revenge for Jeremy going, and you were very close to Jeremy. Had Jeremy not been blindsided when he was, and he was still in the game for a lot longer, what was the plan with him? Were you planning on going to the end with Jeremy, or would have you taken him out before the end?
I got that question. I feel like a lot of fans really loved to see, how I was, because Jeremy had a lot of fans out the gate, and so his fans became my fans once he got voted up, because they were like, well, now I'm obviously rooting for Natalie because Natalie has Jeremy's back. Jeremy said, when we talked after the show, Jeremy said, seeing me now, like watching it, and even when he said he realized when we were in there together that he would have never wanted to go to the end with me, and so I felt the same way about Jeremy, but I wasn't premeditating it because I was focusing on getting deeper in the game with somebody like Jeremy, where somebody who knows the game, who can play, and a good strategist, but he also is somebody that I felt like I could trust. Who knows? I would have probably tried to vote him out, or he would have tried to vote me out. Just depends on who would have pulled the trigger first on the relationship. I don't know. It would have been interesting to see if he had lasted, how things would have gone down.
I bet you appreciated his jury speech, and I guess at that moment were you kind of thinking, wow, I've got a real shot at winning this?
Yeah, because I think a lot of the young guys respect Jeremy, even though Jeremy's he's like a big brother to everybody out there, and they respect him as a Survivor guy, and so I knew Jeremy was doing his part to kind of, nail the, not nail the coffin, I guess nail Missy and Jacqueline's coffin's clothes. He said that if Keith had gone to the final three with me, he would have been really nervous because, all the guys up there, they don't seem to be the most savviest players. So Jeremy said if Keith had gone, he would have had a stellar speech set up to make the guys realize that I deserving winner. But he said he kind of just had fun with it, and hearing it was awesome because it was like everything I pictured happening, and it was cool that moment.
Fantastic. It's often said at the end of a lot of seasons of Survivor that people remember the winner and they remember the first boot the most. So for yourself and Nadia, that's covered perfectly. What was Nadia's...
I know.
What was her reaction when you got to see her after the game and you told her, hey, guess what, sis, I made it to the end?
Yeah, well, I didn't know if I was going to tell her or not. Like, some people on my season were like, don't tell Nadia anything. And I was like, oh my God, that's like basically impossible for me because we talk about everything. I don't think Nadia expected me to get to the end. Everybody that was coming out of the game was saying, not saying much about me. I feel like before she went on her non-jury trip, the people were coming back and were saying the same thing. Like, yo, what, everybody got to watch out for Jeremy. He's like the best player out there. Or, oh, Kelly's such a good player. Or, you know, John is doing an amazing job. And, you know, everybody said like the same thing about me at the start, like, you know, I'm really good at challenges and stuff, but I was playing under the radar. So Nadi was just really, really surprised. And, she was like obviously so excited, but I had to like basically catch up on everything that happened because she had no idea.
Definitely. I mean, we've seen 6 former castaways compete on The Amazing Race. They've never won. First time an Amazing Race team goes on Survivor, they win. I mean, does that mean, Natalie, that winning Survivor is easier than The Amazing Race?
No, it just means that I'm more cut out for Survivor than I am for Amazing Race. Me and Nadi and I together on Amazing Race, the second season doesn't really count, but we're actually good on Amazing Race. We just obviously are kind of like a hot mess and we combust because it's like too much going on. Survivor was way harder than Amazing Race, but Amazing Race, while in it, is, you know, such a fun time and a cool experience, especially because I was with Nadia the entire time.
I mean, I could imagine that, you know, being competitive as you two are, that there's obviously a sense of unfinished business on The Amazing Race where your personal self, you've got a bit of closure having won Survivor. So do you feel if you got the opportunity to go back on either Survivor or The Amazing Race that you would perhaps take The Amazing Race because you've never won that competition?
I don't know. If I was given the opportunity to do either one again, I think I'd probably do Survivor just because I've done Amazing Race twice. And then, you know, I can just do 2-2 and then even it out.
That's a good way. You could join Sandra, a 2-time winner. Why not?
Oh my God, yeah. I told somebody today, I said, only way of like bringing back people and, you know, having some winners and some non-winners, I think that's kind of like putting, targets from outside the game into the game, so I said like they should just bring back all winners and do a season of winners.
I think that's a perfect season and so many fans really want to see that. Well, Natalie, I will say to you, congratulations. Thank you so much for your time here in Survivor Ross, and we look forward to getting you back here on the future and we'll talk a little bit more about your game, but enjoy the win and great season.
Thank you so much. Bye.
And there you go, Natalie Anderson, winner of Survivor San Juan Del Sur. Fantastic chat. We started with the 20. We end with a 20. It's a perfect way of doing it, I feel. And once again, congratulations to Natalie on winning the season. And that concludes our Survivor San Juan Del Sur exit interviews in terms of recording them in total, in order of the contestants from last to first. In actual chronological order, this isn't the last one we're recording. But look, I'm just ruining the illusion of radio. You don't need to know that. Let's pretend this is the last one. I should first of all thank everyone at CBS and Channel 9 for allowing this to happen. Obviously, this is our very first time we've ever done exit interviews, so it has been a massive honour. We've appreciated it. They've been very successful. A lot of people have listened to these, and it has been a lot of fun being able to do these. We're hoping that they will continue for Season 30 Worlds Apart. We will update you whether or not that is happening or not, but we obviously appreciate this season at least being allowed to do them, and we'll see how it goes in the future. To everybody who's listened to these exit interviews, thank you so much. You can download all of them via survivoroz.com. Click on the interview section. Also at the top of the page, you'll see the word interviews. A drop-down menu will appear if you hover your mouse over it, and you'll see the word exit interviews, and you can see them all there as well. Subscribing to us on iTunes, to Stitcher, and as well as TuneIn Radio. You can find them all there as well. Remember to leave us some feedback, rate us. We always appreciate hearing what you think of the show and of these episodes. And social media as well, Facebook, Twitter, and of course all our episodes on YouTube as well. So they're all there. You won't ever be able to miss an episode with so many varieties and platforms for you to listen to them out there. If you're also a fan of Survivor San Juan Del Sur, all of our Oztopsies are available to download, and of course we will have our Survivor San Juan Del Sur Ozcap coming very soon, where we sit down and just go over the season in general and decode it and give our thoughts on it, no doubt a couple of weeks after the season has finished. If you're listening to this on the Friday that we recorded this, then remember our Survivor Oz Christmas party, our third annual live Christmas party, happens next Monday, 11:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. That is 7:30 p.m. p.m. on US Sunday night on the 21st of December. And we have a large proportion of Survivor guests. We've got winners. We've got so many big names coming on the show. And, of course, we also do have a couple of Big Brother Australia and Amazing Race Australian contestants joining us as well. You can tune in live. You can call in. You can have your say and possibly chat to your favourite Survivor as well. Go to our website for more details. The banner is on the top right-hand side of the page, or find the event on Facebook for more details. But for the last time when it comes to a Survivor San Juan Del Sur exit interview, I would like to thank everybody once again for appearing on the show, and again just a quick thanks to CBS and Channel 9. My name is Ben. The Tribe has spoken. We will speak to you next season on the trains.